Hey guys, it is Wednesday today. Now, I don't actually have any updates, because sometimes, like when I used to do these on Instagram, sometimes I would do them because I have updates, and sometimes I would do them, just because I wanted to talk. I felt like I needed to talk to someone, or, excuse me, or I felt like I needed to, vent about something. Um, so, yeah, I don't really have any updates. I haven't really cleaned up my desk since the hunt. I haven't marked anything yet, but I figure I can do that at any time. Um, so, um, I'm trying to think of how yesterday went. I'm trying to think of how yesterday went. I don't think really anything happened. No, nothing really happened yesterday. Um, I, Mom and Chris did go out to the park again. They drove out to the park again, and I decided just not to go with them. Mainly because I had pretty much just gotten up and I hadn't showered yet, and they were getting ready right that second. So I was like, I'm not really going to. So yeah, so I would have done something if I had been. I would have gone with them if I had been up earlier. But so I'm kind of getting a little concerned because so over the past few days, Mom has said that like she's been feeling gross. Like her head has hurt a lot, and like her allergies have really flared up, like her nose and stuff. Um, and the thing that also is kind of like annoying to me is it's like she keeps saying, oh, she doesn't feel very good, yet it's like she's still taking Chris places, like she's still taking Chris to all the parks he wants to go, and that's what's making me suspicious because I made sure I was up decently early today. I mean, I wasn't up extremely early. I mean, it's 10:15 right now, and I even because I had one of those moments after I got upstairs where um, my stomach was hurting, and I ended up taking a shower to feel better. And usually I just do a rinse off, but I ended up just deciding to make it my shower because I thought if I am going to be woken up early, I can hopefully improve the chances of things by just saying I'm ready. And then I woke up decently early, but I called Mom and she wouldn't answer. And so eventually just now I came down. And of course she was still saying that she didn't feel good, and I just like because I asked like do you still feel gross, and she was like, yeah, my ear hurts, which isn't something she previously complained about. And I just like I don't know, like I don't know if this is what's happening, but I just like this is one thing that like one personality trait. Um, Both my mom and dad have this trait. I feel like it's a trait inherent in all parents, honestly. But I mean, dad definitely has this trait sometimes too. But mom definitely has this trait. Like when she very clearly has made up her mind about something, yet she just doesn't want to give me a straight answer for some reason. Like, and the thing is, my first thought would be like, oh, she doesn't want to give me a straight answer because she knows I get angry. But it's like half the time I get angry is 99% of the time I get angry is because she doesn't give me a straight answer. If she gave me like, 'cause I understand sometimes, but if she gave me a straight answer most of the time, I would expect it at this point. Like I would expect what her answer was going to be. So I wouldn't even have to like I wouldn't even have to dance around the bush about it. But it's like, I don't know, it's like, I just feel like this is one of those instances where it's like, she just doesn't want to go. She just doesn't want to go to Wally. She just doesn't want to go to Des Moines. But she's just, and it's like, even, some of those things where it's like, even if something really did come up, like, you can kind of still tell that that wasn't really the motivating reason. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm just interpreting it wrong, but I just feel like she just doesn't want to go and do that. Because again, the one, because normally I'd just be like, oh, she clearly doesn't feel well. She said that over the past few days. But she's said that multiple times, and yet she's still taking Chris out multiple places. And so it's like, you're taking Chris out all these places, but the thing I want to do, you're not budging. um, and it's like also, it's like when she takes Chris out these places, they go to multiple parks, like they went to like, 4 freaking parks yesterday, like and it's like normally I would think, oh, it wouldn't be fine, it'd be fine because she'd probably just be sitting down, and yeah, probably she would, but also she went to 4 freaking parks with Chris yesterday. I don't know. I just, especially the way she said it too. Like she always when I ask her that when she felt bad, she said it. She always says stuff like that with such apprehension, and it's like I always suspected that it was because she think I get angry by her answer, but it's really just because she can't give me an answer. Like, because the thing is, sometimes it's she just won't ever give me a straight answer, and sometimes it's just I can tell that she does have an answer, but she just doesn't want to tell me it for whatever reason. I don't know. It's like I just can totally see this, like her saying this tomorrow on Friday. Like I can totally see her saying this, like her finding another thing to say that she feels bad. It's like that. This has happened on Monday. It's happened on Tuesday. It's happened today. I feel like if I wake up early and go downstairs tomorrow, she'll say something else hurts, like her freaking leg or something. And if I go down on Friday, she'll say that something else hurts. Like I can just totally see that happening, and that's what frustrates me. It's like because it's like I could do other things. It's like, I could either just sleep in, I could do something else with my day, but I hate not knowing. It's like, I hate not knowing what the plan is. Because it's like, again, as I said, I can totally just see, Thursday she still says she's feeling bad, and Friday she still says she's feeling bad. Um, And it's also like 99% of it is like a cold, which, yeah, colds suck, but it's not like she's nauseous, I don't know. I just have a feeling it's one of those instances where like she just doesn't want to do it. And she's just dragging me along for whatever reason, and I go down tomorrow and I ask and she still says no. Plus I would, when she said that, I kind of said that to her in not necessarily a nice way, and then I walked upstairs and slammed the door, so. But I don't know, like, it's one of those things because, normally if I lashed out at that, and it's like, I would think, oh, they're definitely not going to do it now, but it's like, sometimes I just don't care, Sometimes I just don't care if I lash out, and it decreases the chance of doing something. Sometimes I really just don't care, because I had it, Anyway, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, it's definitely not happening today. I bet you, I bet you I say that, and then 5 minutes later, I'll hear Mom and Chris going in the car, going to a park. I don't know. I'm, whatever my theory was now is going to be confirmed if she does that. If she takes Chris to a park today, I know for sure that she just doesn't want to go. So she better not take Chris anywhere either. And the thing is, a park wouldn't be really any less than what I wanted to do, especially considering they usually go to multiple parks. Like, I wanted to go to Wally's for lunch in Des Moines because there's a chance they might close, and I wanted to go to Saltwater State Park and walk around. Heck, she could just sit if she wanted. I don't know. I don't know. I just hate that, like, I can tell that this is going to be a waste of time, but I still have to sit it out in case it isn't. Like, I hate that. I hate just sitting for something that there's a good chance I know is going to be a waste of time. I don't know. Guys, is any of your guys' parents like this? Anyway, I'm going to end this little clip here. Yeah. I'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, I just wanted to say also that, I'm actually walking up to Chase right now, because, I don't know, I was bored, and, I just called them, seeing if they could take anything, and, they actually are, they said they needed quarters, and I said I had, like, $300 worth, and she sounded very happy to take them, so, going there to make a return, and, I also said that I had a bunch of dimes, so she's taking all my dimes as well, so, any little bit of coins I can return to make going to the bank easier, I'll take. So, yeah, the other thing I wanted to say is, the other thing I'm kind of nervous about, as far as the next 2 days is concerned, is that, like, if Mom is still feeling gross tomorrow, and decides that she doesn't want to do anything tomorrow, one of the two things I'm gonna do isn't really gonna happen. Cause, like, I guess maybe for Wally's in Des Moines, there's technically still Saturday and Sunday. And I guess for the bank, there's also still technically Saturday. But I mean, realistically, it's like, if Mom doesn't either let me go to the bank tomorrow, or we go to Wally's in Des Moines tomorrow, I don't know if it's gonna happen. Honestly, I'd rather do the Des Moines trip than the bank. And I'd rather do that first as well, because that way, like, if I go to the bank tomorrow and we, let's say, go to Des Moines on Friday, there's a good chance I might not have a whole lot of money in my account, but if if we go tomorrow, then I'll have hundreds of dollars in there. So anyway, see you guys later. Hey guys, it's a little later in the day. It's still the same day. I did not think I was gonna film this much today, but I think the most annoying part of how Mom's been lately is that, like, why does she have to be sick now? Like, I think that's the part that pisses me off so much. Like, because again, it's like, if this was any other week, I might be a little annoyed because, that means she would be home all week. But I just, like, why? Why do you have to be sick now? It's like, it's just my luck, It's like if I didn't know better, I would think she was faking being sick just so that, we didn't do anything. I don't know. It just pisses me off. Like, why do you have to be sick now? It's like, and it's not even like, like, I guess I kind of say that like she intentionally became sick. I guess that's not what I mean. I just mean, like, why? why do you have to be sick now? You know, like I'm just so tired of it. Plus, it's like she's used that excuse before. Like when we've had other days where we were gonna do where she knew I wanted to do something and she was conveniently sick. Like it used to happen a lot of time when I went to the bank, and I just hate it. Like, why do you have to be sick now? Why do, like, of all the weeks you have to be sick? Why? And of course, mom and grandma are, they're trying to justify it by saying stuff like, oh well, at least you're not sick when it's a week, which is it's pretty damn self-centered to me. Like, oh, that's what you care about. That's why you consider it lucky to be sick this week. Yeah, well, for everyone else, for all the, kids of parents who want to do stuff, it's a disadvantage. It just, like, I know it might not be rational, but it just pisses me off. Why do you have to be sick now? Of all the times to be sick. And what also pisses me off, and the reason why I'm filming is because it's like, I went out for a bit. I went to Chase. I was able to return all the coins. And it was kind of funny because when I talked to Lisa, I asked if, like, maybe they could check what boxes they have in the vault to see if they have any, like, ones that are machine wrapped. And she came back with 2 dime boxes that were actually machine wrapped, but they had 2025 written on them. So I think that a coin roll hunter got them, saw they were 2025, and marked that off and then returned it back. So that was kind of sad because at first I thought I was getting a dime box. They actually had 2 of them. So I returned that, and I was actually going to go to Menchie's because I was a little hungry and it was decently hot outside. I feel like it's been hotter than the weather has said lately anyway. But I was going to go to Menchie's because I was kind of hot and I was a little hungry, so I was going to get, a frozen yogurt thing. But of course, the one day I actually planned to go, they're closed. I don't know. I kind of hate them sometimes. I low-key have, like, a hate for Menchie's because they love to close at weird times, like, for absolutely no reason. Oh, shut up. So, I was tempted about going to McDonald's, but I ended up going to Hagen. I was planning on just getting a drink, but I ended up spending freaking $16 on a, Chinese food combo meal at Hagen, so. Anyway, so, I did that, and then, eventually I did that until, I don't know, around 1. And then, I laid around in my, on my bed for a few hours, all the way up until 5 p.m. And, oh my God, shut up. And I go downstairs, hoping that she'd feel a little better. And the first thing I hear when I walked down, to the stairs is her, whining about her feeling bad still. It just, I don't know, it just pisses me off. Like, start feeling better already. Like, start feeling better. Like, come on, let's wrap this up. I don't know. Like, and the thing is, I went, because mom had texted about dinner. And so I went down because I was planning on eating, but, it smelled like turmeric, which was an immediate turnoff. And then, after I heard mom whining about still feeling bad, I just took one look at dinner and then went upstairs. Like, I'm not going to, and it's like any other time I would have felt terrible about it because, she made dinner and here she was on the couch talking about how bad she felt. But it's like, you know what? I'm sick of it. Feel better already. I don't know, it just pisses me off because I know that I'm going to wake up tomorrow and she's still going to be whining that she feels terrible. And honestly, it's like, and I feel even more how I did when I was talking to you guys about how, like, normally being rude and disinterested toward them, I wouldn't do if I'm trying to do something that I want to do. But it's like, I don't even care at this point. Like, I don't. And part of the reason why I just went up without eating anything is I'm trying to, because this is what I do a lot of times. I try to signal to whoever's being irritating to me, like, you're being irritating to me. And it's like, a lot of times I do this because I want them to know that. It's like, I want mom to know, like, okay, he's still pissed at me. Like, I want her to know that, by me going up and not eating anything. So, I don't know, she's just pissing me off. Like, it's like, you'd swear she chose to be sick this week. And the worst part about it is it's like, this isn't even technically my break. This is my sister's and my mom's, of course, and my little brother's break. But of course, Lauren has become, the resident drifter, and of course barely does anything with us anymore anyway. Not that I'd miss her, but she of course barely even cares anyway. And then all Chris wants to do is, go to the park and all that stuff. So it's like they don't even really care enough to speak up about it. Like, and I end up being the one who has to speak up about it. I don't know. I'm just sick of being the person in this family who always has to do the speaking up and the, like, okay, let's get going if we want to do this thing. I'm so tired of being that person because I've been that person for at least 3 or 4 years now. And it has slowly increased. And it's like we don't even do much outings anyway. We don't really even do any Saturday outings anymore. We don't really go to breakfast anymore, nor lunch. So it's like, me pushing for us to go do stuff, it doesn't even come to fruition half the time. And it's like, mom being sick earlier in the week, it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, she said she was feeling gross on, like, Friday and Saturday. I didn't think much of it. I thought that a freaking cold would go away by now. And, it started as something like, I'm not really that worried about it. But, like, why the hell are you still sick? And it's like, she's taking pills and, she's obviously had nights to sleep. And it's like, come on, feel better already. I don't know. It just pisses me off. Like, of all the times for you to feel sick. And it's like even when I was, when I was super sick for a portion of the week, like that, in 2024 when I had my last spring break ever, and I was really sick for a portion of the week, even I managed to get out and do a few of the things that I wanted to do. Like even after still kind of feeling sick. And it's like, yeah, mom can't even seem to do that. And she's the parent around here. I don't know. It just, I'm sorry for going on a rant like this, but it really just pisses me off. Like, why do you have to do this week? And again, as I said, like, yeah, there might be a chance for Wally's, on like Saturday and Sunday and stuff, and the bank maybe on Saturday. But it's like with how whining she still is about feeling gross. It's like, and for how long, for how longer this has lasted than I thought it would be, she's probably still going to be whining about it into the weekend. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'll say this: I better freaking do at least one of the things I want to do. Heck, even I'll even take if Dad ends up being the one to take me to Saltwater State Park and Wally's, and even take me to the bank. Honestly, I'd rather it. With how Mom's been, but I don't know. It just pisses me off.
You know another thing I hate? I hate it being hot, finally hot and nice and sunny outside, and us not really doing much to take advantage of it. Like, yeah, mom has taken Chris to a bunch of parks, but I had wanted sun for so long, and it's like, because we're not taking advantage of it, I'm at home most of the time where the sun and the heat is just sun and heat. Like it's just annoying. I'm not getting to experience the advantages of it being warm outside, like doing things outside. Um so it's like now I kind of hate how hot it is. I might have said this before, but I think the most annoying part of this is like, you know, she because I don't know if it's because she has not been feeling well, but she's also been like in a bad mood and like snappish, and it's like I want to tell her that like no, you don't get to act like that. You're the one ruining my week because you're sick. Don't snap at me. But at the same time, it's like I don't know what's going to happen. It's like one of those things where it's like I know deep down that I'm gonna either wake up early by myself and find out that mom is still, sick, or I don't wake up until the afternoon and inevitably realize by myself that mom is still sick. And then I would regret giving restraint. It's one of those things where it's like, I feel like I can't tell her off because I don't know if she'll actually come through tomorrow or heck, even Friday. But like, so I don't want to tell her off when I want to, because I don't know if she'll actually come through. But I also want to tell her off because there's a good chance she'll ruin my week, and she's also being snappish at me.
All right, guys. Quick update. Today's Thursday. Um, I, decided that I'd, make sure to wake up early again. I mean, it's one of those things. I woke up at like 10, and mom still hadn't called me, so that was an indication already that she likely was gonna whine about her being sick again. Um, but I got up and I eventually went down and um, you know, I very reservedly asked if she was feeling any better because it's not like I really cared about that. And she was like, not really. And I just like, I'm convinced she's just making it up so that she doesn't have to take us anywhere. Like, especially the way she said it too. Like she said it like that, like she knew that was the exact answer that I didn't want, and she was trying to do that. Like, seriously, you'd swear she's making it up just so she doesn't have to take us places. Like legitimately. And even if she isn't, like, why? Even if she did make it up, you'd swear she like did everything she could to make herself sick the previous week just so she'd be sick this week. I don't know. She's pissing me off. I don't care if it's intentional or unintentional. It is pissing me off. Get better already. I'm just sick of this, like, her not getting better over the last few days. Like, it's a freaking cold. She has a cold with a headache, and that's it. It should be getting, like, a cold should be getting better by now. It is just pissing me off. And again, you'd swear she'd like be making it up. And it just seems unbelievable to me. It's like, when we had our, whenever we had other outings, I didn't really have to deal with this. Like I of course dealt with annoying crap with with the rest of my family, when we went on these trips sometimes. And of course, Lauren, whenever she was on the trips, it would make it almost unbearable at times. But it's like normally I would still be able to do the things that I want to do. But it's like mom's bullshit is of course preventing that. And I mean, it's like I guess there's still Saturday and Sunday for Wally's, and Saturday and Friday and Saturday for the bank, but just I'm just so sick of this. Why? Why do you? And it's like, you might have gotten a bit better by now if you hadn't have taken Chris to all those parks. If you hadn't have been, out and doing stuff when you were feeling gross. And I don't even have sympathy for her feeling gross when she, in the little couple things that she has taken me to do this week. And it's like I don't even have sympathy for that because again, it's like if you really felt bad, then you would have said that you didn't want to take people anywhere. And again, it's like and the thing is, in my opinion, she actually acted like she was more sick in like on the day where she took Chris to like 4 parks that day. And because to me, like that's another indicator. Like she's willing to take Chris to all these places, but the things I want to do, of course, not. You know. And as I said, the things I want to do aren't even really any more complicated than going to the park. I mean, when I go to the bank, all she does is drive me to the bank and sit in the car. That's all she does. And of course, I haven't mentioned the bank to her, but I know how she's. I know she's going to say the same crap. So anyway, she's just really pissing me off. And I'm thinking about it, and it's like, and mainly it's annoying because it's like, why does this have to happen? Outings have generally not, I've not had to go to too much trouble at all. Like, why? It's like I feel like I haven't had to deal with this. And again, it's not like Chris and it's not like Chris and Lauren could give a crap. I mean, Chris is perfectly content with just, I mean, it's like he did the things he wanted to do already. Mom fulfilled what he wanted to do during the break, so he has no reason to complain. And it's like even before that, and it's like even now, it's like Lauren's in her room right now, blabbing on the phone with her friends probably, and it's like I asked Mom this, and I of course tell her off, and Chris is just standing there like it's like he couldn't care less. And it just feels so embarrassing having to push this much during their break. It's like, how hard is it to get one of my parents to do something I want to do when they're on vacation? I mean, who knows if she'll even do it at this point. I mean, and it's like, I could try to convince Dad, but he's taken me to the bank a lot recently. I mean, I guess I could convince Dad as far as Wally's goes. But yeah, I don't even know if she's gonna do it at this point. And honestly, I don't even, it's hard to even care that my outbursts have, potentially prevented me from doing what I wanted to do in the first place. Because it's like it's so unlikely at this point anyway. And she has been such a thorn in my side this week. I don't even care. There's a good chance it's not going to happen anyway. And at least if it doesn't, at least I get to tell her that she's being really freaking irritating. Anyway, I'm just I swear I'm the type of person to be shaking and seething with madness sometimes. Anyway, so she decided to apparently whatever sickness she has is also affecting her IQ. So I'm gonna end this. I don't really have any other updates. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do today. I mean, I'm already awake. It's like one of those things where I could try to go back to sleep, but I feel like once I'm up, even if it's a day like this, I feel like I should still try to make my most out of the day. I don't know. I think I'm gonna hunt those $25 in customer at Pennies because I saved those coins for a rainy day, and why not? Today might not be a rainy day physically, but it sure is heck a rainy day in every other way. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna shower and then hunt that $25 in Pennies, just so I have something to do. And who knows, if I get really bored, I might even go out later, because when I went to Hagen I only got one drink, so I don't have any soda right now. So anyway, that's probably what I'm going to do with my day. Spend it all in my room and maybe go out, who knows. So I was hoping today would, more would happen today. But, I mean, the second I woke up and it was already 10, I knew that, this wasn't going to happen. I swear, it's like, whenever I feel like my life, it's like, that's the thing that's one of the things about life that I will always hate. I know there are many things in life that everyone hates, and it's like, it's not special to me. Everyone experiences this stuff. But it's like, so many times when life is going, when life actually seems like it's taking a turn for the better, or even if temporarily things are going good, there always is something that has to make it not so good. And it's like, I've always wondered, it's like, is this just life's way of keeping us in check, keeping us sane? Are we supposed to be not too happy? I mean, I talk like there's some deity at work here, and I don't believe in God, but it's like, my plans for the week are crumbling. My freaking desk chair is crumbling. Anyway, I'm gonna end this. I don't even know when I'll update you. Honestly, if nothing happens on Friday either, I don't even know if I'm gonna want to film. So I don't know when I'm gonna see you guys next, but yeah. I was hoping this week would actually turn something out of it.
All right, guys. Another quick update. I did do the penny hunt. I just did it. Only 5 wheat pennies, but there was a 1946 King George penny, a really nice 1963 young head, and it's kind of sad because I actually think I found a really old wheat penny. Like it definitely looks old, but the date is like completely obliterated. So, and I've looked under the scope, and there was some gunk on it when I found it, and I even got that off, but just I can't get the date off of it. But I just like, oh my god, I'm just so like, I hate parents, bro. Like, I hate the fact that, like, it's like, for me, when I have things that I want to do that involve my parents helping me out, I hate that. I hate the fact that the things I want to do are a lot of times decided by my parents. Because it's like, when they're being shitty, like, I don't want to be nice to them. Like, when they're like, when they're doing what mom has been doing, it's like she had the gall to just now walk Chris up to the park in the neighborhood. Like, and and because the thing is, it's like, I asked her where they were going, and she was like, "Oh, I'm walking Chris up to the park," in like an angry tone. It's like I could tell she was pissed with me. And this is the thing that I hate about parents is it's like, because I've told her off that she's not gonna want to do the things I want to do now, and I hate it. It's like, oh, you're the one being an asshole, so you're the one who's gonna prevent me from doing the things I want to do? Like, fuck her. It just, I know I've said this a lot, but it just pisses me off. It pisses me off that the things I want to do or have to be, or end up being decided by whether mom does it or not. And it's like, when she's being an asshole to me, I'm not just gonna sit here and say nothing. But because I end up lashing out, mom of course is going to respond like a typical parent, and instead of actually understanding why I might have lashed out, she decides to attempt to punish me by not letting me do the things I want to do. Like, I hate that. I hate the fact that she's the one who's being a jerk, yet I'm the one who's going to suffer the consequences because she's being a jerk, and I'm just responding to it. I hate it.